Are you hydrating every day? Well, our friends at Organifi, they believe in hydration with purpose, introducing their superfood powder blends that turn your everyday water into a delicious, nutrient-packed drink. It's like a power boost from nature. One standout is their green juice, a personal favorite of ours for years. Unlike other green juices, it actually tastes great. Imagine enjoying a refreshing drink that's better than plain water and filled with incredible ingredients like chlorella, spirulina, and moringa from around the world. Just one scoop a day can make a massive difference for your body. What sets Organifi apart is the clinical dose of the adaptogen ashwagandha, known to balance cortisol levels, your stress hormone. In times of heightened stress, this can be a game changer for your weight, sleep, and your immune system. Organifi sources top quality ingredients from organic farms worldwide, ensuring their products are vegan-friendly, gluten-free, and free of any artificial additives. It's pure nutrition in every sip. All right, so here's the exciting part for you. Because you rock with the Secrets to Success podcast, you can go to Organifi.com/success and explore their collection. And at checkout, make sure you use the promo code SUCCESS for an exclusive 20% discount on all products. Yes, you heard it right. It's VIP treatment just for you. Discover how these superfoods can transform your health journey. Visit Organifi.com/success and use the promo code SUCCESS at checkout and experience it for yourself. Your satisfaction is guaranteed. Hydrate with purpose and elevate your well-being with Organifi green juice. Cheers to a healthier you.
And so I'm just saying to those of you who are listening, from a person who gave you my number at the airport, I gave you my number, and I did tell you to call, and I answer when I can. But I just want you to know that when you start liquidating, the takers go first.
For sure.
Or the people who are doing something for you, but it's not moving the needle.
Yeah.
They the first ones to go. You're not moving the needle.
You ready? All right.
What's going on, world? Welcome to another edition of the Secret to Success podcast. I'm your host, CJ, joined, as always, by Dr. King. I got Dr. King in the building. Dr. King, what's happening?
I have a
It's
dream.
beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Go Bears! That's all I'm gonna say. Go Bears! Give me my second. Give me my
go ahead.
I was just saying.
Let me know how long you need.
You bring the cigar.
Yeah,
I saw you with a cigar.
Yes.
Somebody said, Ma, you know that's dangerous.
Yeah, somebody says bad for your health. You know what I told him? I said it's organic. We smoking lion's mane. It's organic.
It's organic.
Yeah, I had that victory cigar, so I'm gonna tell the truth. I had the cigar last time.
Yeah.
I went and bought it just
for the game.
I don't smoke for the record, y'all.
Yeah.
But just for
that
the game, because of CJ, I said that I was gonna buy a cigar and I was gonna light it up and smoke it. Because you know, you ever seen Patrick Mahomes Sr., that video clip of Patrick Mahomes?
Yes.
Where he was like, when they won the Super Bowl and he was like smoking that Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
So I said I wanted to do that. Last time the Bears played the Lions, right?
You didn't get to do that.
Listen, I had the cigar in my mouth.
Oh, and it was close.
I was getting ready to light the cigar. And my wife had the phone out. And in the last 2 minutes, the Bears gave up the lead and lost to the Detroit Lions. So this time, I'm gonna admit, I was just
chilling with
my
the cigar.
wife, though, Camille came to me and said, You gonna light the cigar? And it was the exact same amount of time. It was like 2 minutes left. And I said, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not
yet.
gonna jinx it.
Yeah, not yet.
And so I waited to the end, and at perfect time, and CJ called me the second I was lighting the cigar. And so them Bears won.
I just want to let you know what progress looks like. When you go from being the doormat of the league to firing up a victory cigar after they beat you. That lets you know, you know what I'm saying? Like
We made it.
No, I'm saying congrats.
Well, we got one game.
But like,
We
I
gonna be in
feel
the division.
honored that we're the team that if you beat us, you got to go get a cigar.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay. You're mistaken.
You said it was
I'm
gonna
sorry.
be
good.
It
Yeah.
wasn't about the Bears beating the Lions. It was about Jamal
And
beating
CJ. Okay.
So that's what the victory cigar was about.
Okay.
Okay.
Specific.
Either okay, and in that case, I definitely understand because I've been on top. So if you get a dub over me, it deserves every cigar you could
So
possibly.
I should have on
You
the
should have
video.
bought a
I
box.
said we were smoking Detroit Lions.
That's it.
I should have said we
We
smoking
smoking
that
CJ.
CJ.
Whoa. I don't like how that sound either. I don't like that either. Douglas, how you feeling, man? We got a little.
I feel great.
Diddy had you out in New York. If the people hear you a little nasally.
Yeah, I feel great,
Yeah.
But, my wife did have me out, and she was like, well, you should have said something. I said, and what would have happened? Like, we would just stayed in the hotel in Times Square. I'm like,
and the Christmas decorations was probably
it was beautiful.
Oh, man, that's the best time to go to New York.
But that was around the corner.
So you had to walk.
I wouldn't have got sick for that.
Okay.
I had to go to TJ Maxx, which was busted TJ Maxx. 20-minute walk to TJ Maxx in the cold, and it was busted. I was like, come on, Didi, you killing me. You killing me, Didi. But it's okay. Don't tell them, don't say I said nothing. She gonna get mad.
Man, we have a first-time family member visiting us.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? It's a blessing, man.
To my
the
left.
potty pod.
Maul's right. My good brother Justin Owens.
do,
Justin, welcome to the podcast,
Appreciate
brother.
it, man. Appreciate
Coach,
y'all having me.
I can't
man. You know
believe
what
it's
I'm
the first time you've been on.
I
It
know,
kind of
man.
seems,
No.
funny that this the first time you've been on. But
Well, you ain't had nobody on.
You know what's
Let me tell you
wild though?
something.
You only got
The reason
about 5 guests in the last
That's true.
12 years.
And the reason why too, because we all been on his show.
Yeah.
Not me.
Well, now,
Yes. Not me.
Kinda.
Nah.
No?
I just did recording and training and stuff, but I never
Yeah.
actually did the
We still got to
pod.
make that happen. you
Well,
know
I
what I'm
still,
saying?
like I said,
And I've seen
our
another one
old
since
Dave
then. I've seen another one since then.
did. You did.
Yeah, I was gonna text
but
you about
listen,
that. I said-
got tricked into that.
Oh, okay.
No, I got tricked into that. I told you that.
You did.
So, we do another pod for speakers.
Yep.
So they hit me up like, oh, we going to film. So I came over there and was like, no, you the guest.
Yeah.
I was like, wait. So I got caught off guard. But I still got to do Dave. And then we going to do it, bro. I swear. Listen, man. I like, you know what I'm saying, just doing this and just being, you know what I'm saying? Y'all got crazy fan bases. They stop you everywhere you go. You know what I'm saying? You a big deal, Justin.
Does it count though that he was kind of in there when I did mine? He was writing.
I mean, he was in there.
He was
I
in there.
was in there, yeah.
Yeah.
But
I saw it.
Nah.
Man, entrepreneur extraordinaire. Man, I can't even remember. Justin, we first linked up maybe 10.
Yeah, almost 10 years ago now. It was at that first event in Arizona.
Okay, the first event in
Scottsdale.
Arizona, yep. And I remember Justin came in just gangly and tall and was like, yo, I need some mentorship.
Yeah, for sure.
And man, you know what? He lived in Atlanta, and I don't remember exactly what happened, but it was like later on, it was closer to Christmas, and you brought me a Christmas gift.
Mm-hmm.
And Justin had like a crystal thing with my whole family in there, and it like lit up.
Yeah,
And I was like, oh, we still got it to
No
this day. And I was
question.
like,
We still got us.
yeah. I was like,
mine.
oh man. So, we just since then we've been rocking.
Yeah.
But entrepreneur extraordinaire, and then recently, business partner to all of us.
Yeah.
And we'll talk a little bit about that later. Just kind of the things we got going on. But how are you doing, brother? And how are things?
Things are really good, bro. I think this is a great season for business because everybody got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's been the mindset of a lot of people. Because I got so many friends that's been like focusing on like probably automation in probably the last 2 or 3 years.
Yep.
But I think people realizing this.
No, it's
Go to
getting
work
real. You
season,
got to be
you know what
back
I'm
out
saying?
in front of the people, and you got to demonstrate value, and you got to do all of those things. And so, tell us just a little bit about your background, where you from, kind of how you got into entrepreneurship, and the whole nine.
Yeah, so I've been an entrepreneur since I was 18. I'm 37 now. I got a daughter; she's 12 now as well. And I really started off entrepreneurship in high school. Like, I was the guy that was selling everything that was legal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Candy, CDs. Actually, I realized later CDs weren't legal, but at the time it was no laws. Really.
Oh, it was definitely legal back then.
Back then, but there was no laws.
Yeah, no
you know
law.
what I'm saying? No
Yeah,
laws.
you burnt them joints.
Burnt them.
You know what I'm
Nobody said
saying?
anything. And,
Yeah.
That was my first taste into it. My parents had a cleaning business.
Yep.
So I always knew I wanted to make some money in business somehow.
For sure.
But my first taste was like network marketing. When I got my best friend called me in high school, that was kind of my first taste of it. I wasn't really good at it.
Yep.
But I was like, okay, man, I saw people that was making 20, 30, 40,000 a month. I was like, man, I could do that.
Yeah.
I just needed to learn the skills. And so that's really been, my journey is like connecting with people and learning skills along the way from like door-to-door sales, over the phone sales, internet marketing, to really give me the skills that I have today.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think one of the things that you're most known for, which I don't even know if people know that it's your brand, is of course the rapper, athlete, entrepreneur.
Oh, yeah.
And of course the rapper and athlete are scratched out and the entrepreneur. And that obviously blew up and went crazy.
Big.
What was the inspiration for that? When did you come up with that? And then did you see it taking off the way it took off?
I did. What's funny is people, because I'm 6'5",
Right.
and they would always come up to me like, "Hey man, you play basketball?" I'm like, "No, bro."
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then, I had a charger at the time with 22-inch reels, so they thought I was in music.
The rapper.
Yeah. So it was like, and I would come out to my car because my first sales office was right next door to like Def Jam. So they would put like CDs and mixtapes and stuff like that on my window. I was like, I'm gonna just make a shirt so people stop asking me, and I would just put rapper on it, athlete, and cross it out, and then put entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And then when I started wearing it, people was like, "Hey, can I get one of those?" I was like, this is mine. I ain't really make it for nobody to wear it like that. I was just trying to, so people stop asking me the question, and then a few people start asking. I said, "Yeah, I make you one. And they was like, "Hey man, some of my friends asked, could they get one?" I was like, "Okay, well, man, maybe we need to sell these."
Yeah.
And that's how it kind of grew.
Yeah, no, one of the things I love, man, is that, it's all self-made. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things that, so funny now that, we, have had a measure of success in entrepreneurship and you keep going. But just that concept of self-made and, people saying, yo, put me on E. And man, I can't tell you, like, and I'm not trying to be funny, how many messages I get from people like, yo, put me on the podcast. And they feel like, if I get on the podcast, I'm out of here.
Blow up, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's so funny because, dog, we've literally been in situations where the biggest looks we had didn't do anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
like
a
I was
fact.
telling somebody the other day, we talked about it, but we went on Steve Harvey. Bro, we packed up thousands of books. Showtime. I'm talking about we going
At the Apollo.
bro. This was Steve Harvey daytime show was booming.
Yeah,
not
for
the
sure.
morning show, the TV show.
Yeah.
Booming. And we packed up thousands of books, bro. I'm pre-packed, ready to go. Just all we gotta do is slap. As soon as they order them, slap the label. We out of here. The show came out. We sold 12 books,
What?
bruh. Hold on, listen to this. I told somebody we was doing 10 a day anyway
Right.
So it
on
might
a
have-
random day.
Might have been 2.
It might have been too.
No, listen to what I'm telling you. And like I said, and I want to get this conversation started around, like really putting yourself on, right? Because it's this concept of put me on. Hey, here go my mixtape. Here go that put me on.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy because we go on what we thought was the big, like, we might have been waiting on this our whole career. Like, yo, this is it. Like, all right, cool. It ain't Oprah yet, but Steve is the biggest thing out. And no disrespect to Steve. Steve did everything he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Corshawn, see if you could pull that up. Eric Thomas on Steve Harvey show.
Yeah, Steve gave me like 3 different sets.
Oh, bro.
wow.
No.
Yeah.
It was, he did Q&A segments.
Oh,
He
yeah.
held the
He had-
book up.
Oh, yeah.
The
Steve
whole
held
nine.
the book up.
Bro, we sold 12 books. We was already selling 10. We sold 2 extra books. And I was like, bruh, and by that time I already knew, but it's not what you think. You know what I'm saying? Like, in order to engage with an audience and be able to have something genuinely that they can connect with, you can't just have an individual say, here,
Yeah.
go. You know what I'm
Yep,
saying?
I know
Like,
exactly
if
what
it
you're
was
talking
that easy, Memphis Bleak would have been the #1 rapper. And shout out to Bleak. Like,
Right.
I actually, he had a couple records I liked.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, like, that was Jay-Z's guy. I'm talking about, he was like, this is the one, this the one, this the one. But even Jay-Z, as powerful as he is, couldn't just co-sign somebody into success. You know what I mean? And so I think
Right.
that's powerful when you think about, like, putting yourself on or when you're viewing how entrepreneurship should work. So talk about all of y'all, like, when you came to that understanding of, oh, okay, and E, we'll start with you. You the elder statesman, but like, oh, okay, like, even back in the day, like, think back when you first started, when Cass was like, E, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to do that for you. Or maybe you looked at somebody and it was like, yo, put me on your this, or I need to be a part of your platform.
Well, I feel like Maul right now. You know how Maul would say, I ain't never had that mindset.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I think I didn't have it because entrepreneurship wasn't a thing when I started. So wasn't nobody putting nobody on.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then I saw King, and I saw all the people that was with King, and none of them really didn't get put on like King got put on.
Yeah.
And whoever was running with X didn't get put on like X got put on. You know what I'm saying? And so I always, from my era looking on, nobody had really, I wasn't in the entertainment business, so nobody I knew, and then I followed speakers and authors. So none of them got put on by nothing but what they did. Now, I will say this, though. This was a revelation for me because I want to put people on. I might have been the dude trying to put people on, like literally trying to give people my stage and pray that they blow up immediately after getting on my stage. And one of the things that I realized, man, I ain't gonna say that because people take it at the wrong. Some people in our inner circle could take it the wrong way, but I'm gonna say this: your fan base, and I just say fan base because to Just point, you got to work these days. So people ain't really just following you on the, the excitement no more. It's like you done poured into them some kind of way. Free content. You done some conferences. You done a whole bunch of stuff. Showed them how to do content. They came to your little networking event. Like it ain't like back in the day, they just watch a video. And so one of the things that I realized is that you can't borrow somebody's fan base. Like you can't borrow it. Even if Just put me on, it would only be the people that he introduced me to that feel like there's something specific that I can do for them outside of what he's doing. That's going, it ain't gonna be like just like, hey, did my boy E buy his book? They would either had to already been rocking with me or feel like, oh, okay, Just, I need that. Not on the strength of Just. So that's one of the things, I just say in the first round is that I realize people get it twisted. You can't borrow people's loyalty to somebody else. Right. Or you can't borrow their credibility. Like you can't borrow that. People will judge you off your work. Like now you might get one, check my boy out, but then once they check you out, it's like, no, you about to get judged on your legitimate, like selfish, what can I get from them? And if they don't feel like they can get something from it, whether paid or free, I just noticed that, people like, I'm out.
Either one of y'all?
No, I mean, just right what he was talking about, your work, man. It's your work. Unfortunately and fortunately, I worked around a bunch of people in the police department that couldn't put me on outside of the realm of the police department.
Right.
And the culture in the police department is all about putting somebody on, but it's all like you just got to saying, they putting you on is, hey, I got the security contract and I want you to come stand here every day for 4 hours and work.
Right.
And I'm gonna pay you $15 an hour. Right. But the company, Walmart, Home Depot, paying me $25 an hour, so I'm making $10 off of you. So therefore, your value is what I can make off of you. But just in my life, I had to step outside, bro. It wasn't nobody, and I'm trying to think, when you was talking about this, I was like, man, who put me on? Like, what does that even look like? And I'm not talking about like what I'm going through now in life. I'm talking about in the beginning. Like, and really, when I was sitting back thinking, bro, I had to put myself on. Like, meaning that, especially in real estate, like I had to, it was people that was able to guide me.
Yeah.
But that's not putting me on.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody ever gave me anything. And I think for the people that's looking to so-called, quote unquote, put them on, like, what does that mean to you? Like, what's that real definition of put you on? Put you on is like, yo, I got a talent or a service, put me in front of your people and it's going to blow up. I think
like,
you're missing something when you do that, right? Sure. You missing all of the, I go back to, prime example, what you did with Toby. You and E had such a Rolodex of people that could have instantly put Toby on. But if you guys would have missed that process, right, having him go through the process that he went through over the years, would he still be the Toby that we know today?
Yeah, and I'm saying, I feel you, but bump that, put me on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need to learn the lesson.
Well, yeah, that's what most people think.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm just being real. Like, I'm feel more on the lesson. That's great. But if you just put me on, I'd have made 50
But
million.
you don't think the putting you on, to me, putting you on is like somebody going to the doctor just going to have surgery as opposed to going every day.
Yeah.
I got you, but you're missing out on that.
No, and I'm not.
It's something that's being built.
Oh, yeah. I'm saying that's because you on some whatever you on. You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, but it's something in that process.
I feel what you're saying, but I'm saying, bruh, I said this in my sermon the other day. I know gazillions of people that will take a check for not doing work.
Yeah.
I don't know many people that will work and not take a check.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure I know a lot of people that's like, hey, don't even worry about it. I'll work for you for free for a year. Don't even worry about it. And I ain't even tripping. But I know a lot of people that'll take a check for a year and not do no physical work for it. Like, they're not going to be like, bro, I am, between me and you, bro, you didn't pay me for 4 months and I ain't do nothing.
Facts.
You feel what I'm saying? It's like I got people now that are on a, what do you call it? It's like a retainer.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't call and say nothing, they may not do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel what you said, but the average human is not going to go, I'm going to work for free and learn all the lessons and grow and blow. And one day I will have a year full of free lessons that's going to take me to the promised land. No. Cats like blow me up. And so I agree with you, but I'm saying a lot of people would, you know, a lot. And I didn't put nobody on, but I did have an opportunity, QDZ, whatever the radio show was called. They shut the radio show down for an hour for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Unheard of. The boss didn't even want to do it. I don't even know how QDZ convinced them.
By shut down, meaning like they didn't go to commercial.
No music.
No
nothing.
music,
No
nothing.
music, nothing. They just did a whole hour straight.
ET.
Yeah.
That's
so,
it.
but was that a put on? But you was already, so in my mind, put on.
No, he
mean,
about
okay,
to
I'm
say
saying
he
I
going
put
somewhere else.
So
Play Toby.
I gave Toby a chance to get like, okay, Tobe, they put me on, ain't no music. We're gonna play your single for the whole Philly to hear, and hopefully, you know, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So I was hoping by doing that, that
Barry
was
Gordy was going to call. Barry Gordy was going to sign him to Motown.
You feel me? That's what I was thinking. So I did it going, yo, Tobe dope. So Tobe dope. They calling me. I got an hour. I ain't gonna be selfish. I'm gonna give Tobe. Now I can't say that didn't move the needle at all.
Yeah.
But I tell you, from the time Tobe blew up, from when we was on that hour,
years.
that was a long time.
Years.
Yeah.
It didn't, right? And Justin, go ahead, get in there. But go ahead, actually.
I would say, like, I don't know if I thought that, like, somebody could
Come
put
on,
me
Justin,
on.
don't leave me out.
But
on the ledge,
but I'm gonna say
somebody
what
thought.
I
thought we was getting put on.
No, but I'm gonna tell you what I did think. Like, because
Yeah.
in my business, it would be like, I'm thinking I'm gonna sign up somebody that's gonna blow me up.
I like that.
So I'm like, okay, all right, man. If I can
know
just
that's
find the next person that's just like this guy over here.
Was it gonna be on the left or you or the right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. I'm
Which
like,
one did
either
you-
one. It didn't matter because I have either side. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey,
You know what I'm
wherever
saying?
you at. And I'll be over here building a business like, man, you could be just like this guy.
Yeah.
And then eventually it hit me one day. I was like, no, just you got to be that dude. Like, instead of you trying to hope you sign up the person as that dude,
Yep.
you got to be the person that is that person. Now, here's the other thing I kind of think with E is like, there are people that don't look like us that do get put on.
Yeah.
Because they run the companies, the kids go to school, and they put them on in the spot. You know what I'm saying? So I think eventually as more of us do well and we create companies that can employ people, I think that is going to be more of a reality if people have the skills. But yeah, I think for me personally, it was that transition of like, okay, you know, yep, you do need the mentor. But at the end of the day, bro, you got to go make it happen yourself.
Yeah. And I think that's the danger, I think, of when I'm speaking about it. You're right. Some people do get put on, right? Like,
but not.
But the danger isn't when you start relying on it.
Yeah.
Or when you start thinking that's going to happen.
Entitled
for you.
about it.
Right, exactly.
Like, mad,
so even,
like,
bruh, I tell people all the time, oh, bro, you see our talent, I'm dope, bro. You can put me, I'm like, it's not what you think. I'm like, we went on Steve Harvey and only so, like, we didn't get put on. It's like with some of the biggest names, you think I'm about to put you on one podcast episode and you out of here, that's it? It's like you have to have something built into, you know, to E's point earlier about Toby, as crazy as it was, I knew we couldn't put Toby on. But what we could do is give him the information. And if you want to follow the blueprint, right, that I sent, that's cool. So I could put you on the blueprint, but you got to put yourself on, if that makes sense. So much so to the point I told somebody the other day, bruh, I was just, shout out to my brother. It was his birthday the other day when me and Candace went out for his birthday. DJ Infamous, this is my brother. I'm talking about like these, like, you know, Infamous. I grew up with this dude. Like, literally, I told somebody we was riding, like, give me $2 for gas. Like, this is my brother. When do you know? Take a guess how many times I called and asked him to play Toby's record.
None.
0. This man is ludicrous DJ, touring DJ. He's on the hottest radio station in the country.
Yep.
He doing the hottest clubs in the world. I never once called and said, hey, can you play Toby's record? If anybody in the world had the right to do so, or the, you know, the calling a favor, this is my, and he would have gladly done it. I did not do it because I know you can't cheat the system. And so if I would have had, so just think, if I would have called year 1, year 2, Corshawn, and been like, hey, can you play his And then boom, it started getting played. Now Toby has a false sense of what it takes to really get your stuff popping. So I don't maybe got to work as hard. Yeah. I maybe ain't got to, focus on my craft quite as much because I'm already on the radio and it's doing a little something, but it ain't all the way. But and so what he was talking about to the point of being able to get put on the blueprint. Yeah. And I think that's what's crazy. And so when you look at, your own success, so going back to, how this thing comes to life, right? How you bring a vision, a goal, a dream to life. What would you say going back when you say, all right, cool, this is on me? And we always talk about you can't do it by yourself, right? No man is an island.
Exactly.
Right.
So how do you balance now building this dream while also knowing you need other people to help you leverage?
The motive is different, though. Mm-hmm. The motive ain't blowing me up. The motive is supporting me.
Yeah.
Or giving me some insight or information. It's not, you're going to blow me up. And I do want to say this, in terms of taking action. I think the very first thing you need to do is really dismiss this concept that somebody else going to blow you up or somebody owes you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You feel me? Like, bruh, and I mean this with all my heart. I really want, the listeners, the first step you should take is not this evil, this bitter, it's all on me, get rich or die trying, ain't nobody going, I'm the only one that's going, like, no, don't, that evil, that's low vibration. Mm-hmm. You don't want that. But the other thing you cannot do is you cannot put the stress of your dreams and goals and accomplishing what you're going to do on somebody specifically. Because then you start destroying the relationship. Mm-hmm. I see it. I see people who I have blessed, but who start relying on me. Like, and I don't mean this in a negative way, but they're the first one to throw dirt on your name. Mm-hmm. Like, you hear how they talk about you in secret, and, you hear the way they silently treat you, and it's like, yo, I'm not mad at you, but I see what you did. You thought it was my responsibility to blow you up, and then when I didn't do what you thought that I couldn't even do.
You probably did for a little while, but here go the thing. If I'm supporting you, and I might be the only one.
Yeah.
Then when I take it, I seem like I'm hating. Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute, nobody else gave you a dime. Nobody else did anything, but not because I gave you this for 6 months, a year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. And I say now, hey, all right, I'm going to need to. Now all of a sudden it's like,
it's the one time you say no to.
Right.
It's the one time.
Like, bro,
it's the one time.
You see what I'm saying? And so it's dangerous to be in that situation where but at the same time, you do need, again, people to join your cause. And I guess, Justin, that's one thing that you've been super successful at, right, is building teams, right? And there's always this concept, and I always tell people all the time, if you can't build a team and nobody wants to join your teams, because you need to be on somebody else's team.
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about how you were able to, kind of build your, entrepreneurship world, and then you were able to recruit people in, because that's one of the toughest things is like, I got this idea, I got this concept, I know what to do, but everybody else looking at you like you're crazy and they don't really want to jump on board.
Yeah. So that's an interesting conversation. I think for me is after I had that realization, I said, okay, I almost felt like it was like sports, where it's like, okay, you got to go through being like, a scout, and then like an assistant coach, and then you become, offensive coordinator. So I was like, okay, I'm inside of a team, and I've got to learn all the things it takes and requires to be in that position. Because I didn't have it. Like, I didn't have the influence. I didn't have the results. I didn't have the cars. I didn't have the jury then. But I was like, okay, I could point to a person that did have it, or I could learn from a person that did have it, and then I could start applying those things and kind of borrow what they were doing to help me get my success. And then after I learned how to do it, almost like
so
LeBron
what were the
did.
main things you learned along that path? What would you say in order, because right now, obviously you got a big following, you've started multiple businesses, you've been super successful, you made a lot of money, you've impacted a lot of people. What lessons?
Jewelry. And he has jewelry.
And he got some jewelry.
Nah.
And cars.
Nah.
I got cars. I seen the car. I got the house. I've been to the house. I got in the elevator, rode up and down the elevator.
4 levels.
Yeah, 4 levels.
Bro, I felt
Is it
like
4 or 5 levels?
Bro,
It's 4.
Oh, I felt like I did a workout the first time we went.
I asked him, he wouldn't
Me
take
and
the
you the only
elevator.
ones that ain't got elevators, because Mark got elevators.
Oh, yeah. We tripping, bro. We got to get elevated.
Oh, yeah, but I don't know, though. My kids and Mark kids got stuck in the elevator not too long ago. So
He's got a little key thing.
I know. They got stuck in between the floors.
Oh.
That's because somebody is a safety mechanism. His son
They
tried to open up another floor while they were in the elevator.
You
and
gonna
it
blame
shut.
my
He didn't
baby?
know.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna blame my
And
baby?
I had to go to the cameras. I had to go to the cameras. And I seen his son.
What's the
I seen
thing
his
when they
son.
pull out the red? What is it, Geico? Where they pull out progressive?
Oh, yeah, challenge flag.
Yeah,
Challenge flag,
yeah, the
yeah.
challenge flag.
I was like, see,
You saw a little
I said,
Trey
see,
Trey.
somebody must have, because I'm out here showing, I'm at a conference.
Yeah.
I'm like, see, somebody must have opened up the door. He's like, no,
Bro, I'm at the crib.
And I told him,
He not there. I'm like, the elevator, the kids yelling, we stuck. We stuck. I'm like, man, I don't know. I'm hitting the button. I'm like, I don't know what to do.
I told him to check the doors, but he only checked, so it's 5 levels.
Yeah.
He only checked maybe 2 or 3 levels.
That's how the way he slid that in there real quick.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, you just one more than you had.
He said
5.
He just,
Yeah.
just one more.
That little 4 levels is cute. Level 5.
I caught that.
It's levels
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this.
Bro, man,
Five
from
levels.
from the 5th floor.
Bro, man, from the 5th floor, it's 5 levels. So,
Yeah.
Justin, that's cute. You know what I'm saying?
We got to keep working for another level. It's always another level.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
gotta get
It's
an elevator.
always another
We gotta
level.
start with an elevator. Period.
Yeah, no, for real. I gotta get somewhere to go in the
No
elevator.
question.
Yeah.
As long as I got one, we got one.
Oh, okay.
we got
Well, exactly. Back to my original question. So, in order to attain all of these things that you have and nice things and all of that, you said, I love it. You were like, yo, before I built a team, I wanted to know inside out what it took to be on a team and serve within a team, right?
That's good.
What were those lessons you learned in serving, or you looked at the things you looked at like, man, I need to apply this, and man, that wasn't so cool. Like, I probably don't want to take this with me.
Yeah, I think I learned a lot of good and bad, kind of like what you were saying. So
Yeah.
some of the good I would start with first is like I learned how to motivate people.
Mm-hmm.
I learned how to like help people get their goals accomplished, which is kind of a shift for me because like you get started in business because you're trying to get something accomplished for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a natural inclination. We all hear the goal, we all hear the quote like you help everybody get what they want. But it's a little different when you really trying to get what you want. Like, listen, man, I want you to get that so I can go get this.
Well, and often you got to get it last.
Right. Yeah.
That's the craziest part is like, if you're a real boss, you eat last because you got to make sure everybody, and you're like, wait, I ain't getting this to do that, but you realize that it's an order.
Yeah. And what I had I would almost call it like an example at the time, and he would do it the wrong way. I didn't know it then, but I realize it now. Is that he would motivate people and like drive them, and his motivation style was like, hey, if you ain't gonna do it, I'll do it by myself. And I'm like, okay. And that never worked for me, but it worked for some people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't like that motivational style. And then I ran across a mentor that showed you how to like just go for what you want. And then when you start showing me, it's like, listen, if you really show people how to really get what they want, you get a team of people that are going for what they want, you will get what you want. But when they feel that it's from a genuine place and it's for them for real, now they start moving on it a lot faster. And that clicked for me on a whole different level because now I can really talk to somebody and be like, hey, man, what do you really want?
Yeah.
Like, how are you going to get this done? Because what I realize is my goal isn't attached to you getting it done.
Absolutely.
Because I'm still going to get it done.
Absolutely.
Facts.
But, hey, if I can help you get this done, now we can do it a lot faster. So what do you need for me to be able to get that done? I think that was big. Building relationships, like some of the things, I've been able to do, even how we all got a chance to grow relationships, like just building genuine relationships with no, you're not really looking for anything in return.
That's the key, though. How do you do it genuinely, Justin? Because we live in Atlanta, both of us, and it's not always genuine. Like, you see cats, they stop you in the airport, in the mall, and they, I want to build. Hey, give me your number right quick. Like, how do you build genuine relationships when everybody says, yo, build relationships? So cats think that mean I'm gonna run up to you and just be like, yo, give me your number. I'm texting you every day. I met a dude one time. He was like, yo, I'm just telling you, I want to be successful. I want it as bad as I want to breathe. Like E.T. said, I'm going to call you every day at 7:30.
My man.
I said, the devil is a lie. Don't call me at 7:30.
Yeah.
Call your mama.
Yeah.
You're not finna blow my line up. But again, I don't think people understand how to do it in a genuine way. What is the way to do that? Because you have to build relationships every day. Justin on the phone, I never thought I'd see somebody who could be on the phone more than E. But Justin might be on the phone more than E. I mean, E like a close second because E got Didi right there shutting him down.
Yeah.
Justin be working and building relationships all day.
Yeah.
How are you building these genuine relationships and not seeming thirsty or not coming across as like, oh, I just want something? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's just paying attention. I feel like it's almost like dating. Like if you're really paying attention, it's not hard to like be genuine and like just be a good person. Like I was on the phone, but I heard him talk about the elevator key, so I already put down on my note, hey, let's see if I can find a key, like an extra key for the elevator. One time I was with E, and he was talking about the little door stoppers, you know, for the security thing. And I'm like, let's see if we get them some, get some sent to the house.
And I got them.
Yeah. So
never knew that's where they came from.
Good.
My daughter be using them all the time. She go to the hotels.
Yeah.
And sometimes I send people stuff, I don't say anything, but it's just like, okay, how can I just be listening to see how you could be helpful to people and just fill a gap in their life? And sometimes it's not like, it's not for a reason. Like you said, we met in 2014. We just started doing business.
Right.
Just now started doing business. So
10 years later.
Most people aren't willing to put in 10 years worth of time to do it. And it wasn't even intentional.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
That wasn't even planned. That was just the conversation at lunch on some genuine stuff that turned into something that was business. And so I think you just have to do that. And if something comes up, that's one of the things you mentioned to me, and also one of my mentors is like, listen, you just gotta, let's just let this thing develop organically. And I feel like if you do that and you stay a good person long enough, the right opportunities will come either from those people or people from them.
Are you ready to conquer your resolutions this year? I've got the secret weapon to make it happen. Factor, the game changer in ready-to-eat meal delivery. Let's kick the stress of meal planning to the curb and set ourselves up for success. With over 35 chef-crafted meals per week, including options like keto, calorie smart, vegan, and veggie, and so much more, Factor gives you the power to choose meals that align with your goals. Say goodbye to the grocery store madness and cooking fatigue. Factor's got your back. No more frantic lunch preps or rush dinners. Factor's 2-minute meals are the ultimate lifesaver. Imagine indulging in restaurant-quality meals all delivered right to your door. And guess what? They're ready to heat and eat in just 2 minutes, giving you more time to focus on what matters. But it does not stop there, guys. Factor now offers an array of snacks from breakfast options to smoothies, juices, and so much more. Stay fueled and energized throughout the day, no matter how packed your schedule is. And Factor is not just about meals, it's about flexibility. Change your order every week, choose from 4 to 18 meals per week, or pause and reschedule deliveries anytime. Factor adapts to your life and not the other way around. Stress less over meal times in the new year. Factor's no prep, no mess meals free up your valuable time so you can say goodbye to wasting hours in the kitchen. Plus, Factor helps you stay on top of your goals with offerings like Protein Plus and Keto. Whatever your aspirations are for the new year, Factor is here to support you. Ready to revolutionize your meals and save big? Head to factormeals.com/S2S50 using the numbers S2S50 and use the same code S2S50 to get a jaw-dropping 50% off. That's code S2S50 at factormeals.com/S2S50. Don't miss out on the exclusive offer to kickstart your journey to success. Factor, because your goals deserve a delicious and nutritious ally. If you've ever bought any grind gear from us, our earlier books, you have been on Shopify. And listen, guys, today I want to put you on the other side of the Shopify cash register. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business, and that's why we've rocked with them for so long. They grew with us. From the launch of your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the, did we just hit $1 million stage? Shopify is there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell everywhere, from their all-in-one e-commerce platform to their in-person POS system. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Shopify helps you turn browsers into buyers with the internet's best converting checkout. 36% better on average compared to other leading commerce platforms. And sell more with less effort thanks to Shopify Magic, your AI-powered all-star. Hey, one of the dope things that Shopify has done recently is that you don't even have to sell just your own stuff anymore. Shopify Collective, it's a newer initiative. You can actually curate products to sell from other brands that you love, giving your customers even more variety and your business more visibility and more sales. Shopify powers 10% of all e-commerce in the United States, and Shopify is the global force behind brands like Allbirds, Rothy's, and Brooklinen, and millions of other entrepreneurs of every size across 175 countries. Plus, Shopify's award-winning help is there to support your success every step of the way. Because businesses that grow with Shopify. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/secret to success. All lowercase, right? Again, go to shopify.com/secret, the word TO2 success. Go there now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in. Again, shopify.com/secret to success.
So let me ask you this. Let me change the conversation just a tad bit, and hopefully this helps somebody, because I'm thinking about it now. You're talking about yourself from a mentee position, right? Let me ask, because I know both of y'all, E may be a little easier. More, let me tell you something. You lucky if you get... People be like, man, I called Maul 7,000 times. I can't, you heard from him? I'm like, nah, he ain't called me back either.
He lying.
I'm like, man, I ain't, no, of course I'm lying, but I'm just like, it's hard because I know Maul on the go.
I'm on the go.
I know
and
you
I'm
on the go. I see you on the go. E, you on the go. Let me ask you this. How can someone endear themselves to you now in the position you're in as a boss? Maul, how could somebody, what would make you stop and go, you know what? Because again, I think people think that when you get to a certain level, you just stop running the race.
Yeah, no.
And it's like, bro, I really got work to do. Like Maul, like, yo, I'm really at these properties. I'm really buying real estate. I'm really doing the development. I'm really signing contracts and looking at, talking to my lawyers. Like, I'm really actively doing this all day. So then somebody goes, okay, well, you say find a mentor or join a team well, how can I be a part of this? What could I do? And that's a question for all of y'all. I want y'all to answer. What could somebody do right now? They listening in podcast world. All right, cool. You don't want me to run up on you at a conference and say, let me get your number. You don't want me to DM you. You don't. And I feel like now we putting them in a position where they're going, well, how the hell do I get a mentor then if nobody want to stop and talk, or if I'm annoying everybody?
Yep.
I'll start again. We'll work clockwise.
I'm just saying, for me, you can help me make more money. You can help me save.
But how do I get in the door? Like I got to get in the door.
You can help me make money.
Okay.
So that could be, you notice the process that I'm using, and there's a better process. You know what I'm saying? Or you have a better software that you think I could use that's going. So whatever. Like, it doesn't necessarily mean making money together. You can show me how to save time. To spend more time with my wife and kids and the people that I love, or you could be a blessing to something that is super important to me. So, for you guys, I mean, I never said, hey, Jay in a rough spot, he need support. But you were paying attention in his life enough to know.
Yeah, true. But obviously you and I, we family. I'm talking about an outsider who may not. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying this.
Can I speak to that? Because I was an outsider.
Right.
I was an outsider.
Right.
Y'all, I didn't come up with y'all like that.
Right.
And I didn't become part of the team by asking to become part of the team. I was literally, people, hey, how could I get, people ask me this, they used to ask me this question. Now they start doing it. They see us together so much now. But he used to always say, man, how did you get so close to E, man? Like, no, how did you get so close, bro? And I was like, I wasn't trying to get close to him. I said, I wish I could tell people, like, man, I had this thing all written out. I wish I could, bro. I said, I was at where he was at. I was coming to the conferences. That's number one. I was just showing up, coming to the paying VIP, getting the information.
So he just said it, money. He gave money.
I was y'all number one. I paid for everything, any
VIP,
shirt,
money,
VIP'd out, and I started bringing people
more money.
So I was one of y'all greatest advertisers, right? That was me.
Yeah.
And then
fill the gap.
And then once you guys, I guess, got interested in who I was, right? After years, it was okay. Who are you?
Yeah.
I already knew who y'all was, but now y'all start asking me who was I. Then once I told you who I was, you guys saw a gap that was there, that was missing, like as far as real estate and being able to teach people that's got y'all saw I had value to get to your audience.
Okay.
I had value to get to your audience
time.
Because your audience was 9-to-5ers.
Save me
and y'all
time.
didn't have a 9-to-5. None of y'all worked a 9-to-5.
Yeah.
Except
I
back in
did
the
one
day.
time. I had worked there right
He had a
there
summer
for
job.
a couple weeks.
You know what I'm saying? So I was able to now offer some type of service, information, or something
that we didn't already have.
That you didn't already have.
Save us time.
Yeah.
Not can I carry your bags?
Not can I come speak?
Can I come speak? I didn't even want.
Well, he ended up saving time because he would speak, right? He was on the podcast. So it put me in a position where Now I don't always have to be on the podcast.
Yep.
I don't always have to speak, and I don't always have to come to his conferences, and we still are economically blessed. So he did. He started saving me time, and I don't have to be there. And then he started to enrich or elevate the things that already existed in our lives.
So that hits everything that you said before I even said one word, and that's the truth. But I think most people, they want to get in on some like, how can you help me?
Absolutely.
Like I wasn't looking for you, to help me. It wasn't nothing. I never said, "See, can you coach me?"
No.
I never asked you to mentor me.
Nope.
And I'm saying there's nothing wrong with asking, but it's something wrong with, again.
But I think that's the sticky part right there. That's the sticky part of like, okay, so don't ask. You feel me, Corshawn?
But what are you bringing to the table?
It's right. But I'm saying I'm a young kid. I'm in my 20s. Like I watch the pod. I'm with y'all.
Come to the conferences.
I can't
come to the conferences.
I said
join the
this
community.
Weekend, in the sermon, Hannah went 19 years without
and she gave
having a baby.
Yeah.
On the 19th year she got it, she said, "Lord, I'll give it to you."
Yep.
That before then, she just kept asking for something. He never heard her or her little crying or her pain. But the day she said, "Yo, I'm gonna give my son to you," she had a child right. It said her husband or her, and immediately.
I love how EO is like that. That's easy. Sign language.
The baby.
Corshawn, what's sign language for having a child? Okay,
the babies. You know what I'm saying?
Bye.
So
and spill.
And then she had 5 more after that.
Yep.
Because she started the whole again. And I guess for me, when it's what you said earlier, when it's genuinely mutual.
Yeah.
I always tell people who don't do well in relationships, if you're not doing well, it's just because one of y'all is trying to get and the other one may be trying to get. But when you go, how can we? Yeah. It's going to always work. But when it's like she fighting for her way, you fighting for your way, they fighting for their way, it don't usually work out like that. But when we find that whatever we do, we're going to both mutually, not equal giving, equal sacrifice, like we both are going to get something, it's a wrap, bruh. Who gonna say no to, man, I'm gonna bless you, and then you gonna, bruh, he had me on I was on some dummy mission, like out of town, flew in from like a international trip, came to Atlanta, sitting in the truck, get out, I'm supposed to do the, like you can't come in. I'm like, okay, grand entrance, did my thing, and my girl wasn't tripping because it was like, oh, that's just. If it would have been somebody else, Didi would have been like, yo, well, how much you making off of that right now? Not how much you making, what's the potential? Yeah. She'd have been like, yo, we just got off an international flight and we got to spend the night in Atlanta. Like, I'm ready to go home. But I was like, who I told her it was for. She's like, oh, the one that got us the sandwiches at that little French cuisine. I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, the one that picked us up in, I was like, oh, yeah. She's like, oh, yeah, what we going to do? I was like, we just sit in the car and then boom, and then we'll go do our thing after. She's like, all right, bet. So even my wife had tolerance because she knew the person who I was doing this for. It was mutualism.
Yep.
Yeah.
For you, what nowadays, how could some young, hungry entrepreneur in Atlanta, they see you all the time in the G-Wagon, they pull up next to you, they just want to, what's a good approach for
I want to be down.
Be down.
I think it's like I think if you're going to DM somebody, like, I think one of my pet peeves is like, hey, man, can I ask you a question? Like, bro, just send it all in one message, please. Yeah. Like, whatever you got to say, just hey.
Okay, that's a good nugget right there.
Because you just asked me a question when you asked me, can I ask you a question?
Yeah. So like, now that's just tourist. Now I got to type back twice.
You know what I'm saying? So now I got to say, yes, what's the question? Like, just wait. Hey, man, appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is what I got going on. This is how you can help me. But I would say the other thing is like, and I'm not like a master of the Bible, but from what I recall from everybody that Jesus chose, they was busy. Right. They all had something going on.
That's good.
And so you got like when he put together his team.
Major nugget right there.
Major.
Yeah. They had something. Okay,
all of them had something going on, and all of them had.
Nobody was just like, I'm just chilling.
Right.
Yeah, whatever
it would have been a sacrifice,
like, homie.
To leave, like, you ain't got nothing going on, so it ain't nothing for you to leave.
Man.
So I think all of them had something going on. I think you've got to have something going on,
man,
because
that's a bar.
Yeah, and
that's a bar.
So I'm sitting here trying to think too about all of them.
No. Well, I'm sitting here and I just wrote in my phone.
Even Judas.
So I just wrote in my phone. For me, I like have a level of mastery.
Yeah.
Like, what do you bring to the table? I love it. People like, see, I want to, and I'd be like, yo, what do you do?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could just, I'm come around and I'm good. I'm like, bro, are you Corshawn, beast with the camera? Yeah. Corshawn, like, I got a skill set. I could be there. I'm getting off the plane. I don't even know if you talked to your wife or you went and saw your wife. You was like, yo, I'm going to be there. I'm going to show up. So you have a master. Go ahead, Corshawn. What you got to say?
No, I was going to say that exactly. That's what I was going to say.
You got a mic
listen
on there?
to y'all. Absolutely.
Oh, good.
Absolutely. That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Masters wear mics.
yeah, ain't no doubt.
Come
It's like,
on.
what you need to do is your space, your gift. The first thing that you need to do is you need to master your own life so they can feel the warmth. And then you can bring it over and now you got something to offer.
Yeah.
Which is essentially what he said.
Right.
What I did was, as soon as I got off, they hit me up. They ready. Can you be here? Can I drop you off so I can shoot right out there? And so I put together a plan so I can get here. Right
And
off
if
the
you're
plane.
not mastering something, bro, it could take now if I'm trying to help you and you're not mastering.
Oh, that's the
thing,
worst.
Now it could take
well,
us 10 years for
well,
you
Justin,
just to
let me
get to
tell
the
you
point of
something.
That's the
mastering
worst.
something.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say one of the things is once you get in there, now you gotta like honor what you got in there for. Cause I've got like little guys like they would be videographers, and I'm like, hey man, why? So you take a picture. This dude is I'm paying you, but you're sending this dude pictures that you're not paying, and you get.
Or you walking next to me in the event,
like,
and they video
And now you speaking.
yeah,
And now you speaking.
No.
Why you speaking?
you made your reel.
Why you speaking?
You made your reel for my
You
event
done did a
before you
whole
made my
keynote.
reel. Like how you make your reel for my event before you know what I'm saying? Like
your
okay,
own
yeah.
personal reel.
Yeah, you over and I'm
You
not
in
saying
the room networking.
I'm not saying like don't build a relationship. Like you got to remember,
Not on my dime.
but not while you get
Not on my
not
dime.
when you're looking for an opportunity.
Yeah, not on my dime.
To your point about having something going on, and that, like I said, me and Mark give each other a hard time on this podcast, and we go back and forth quite a bit. But this is the God's honest truth. Just out of everybody I ever linked up with at a conference or whatever else, bruh, listen to me. I gave Maul my number. Probably, let's say conference 5 he was at. Oh, yeah, take my number.
Yeah.
And I would see him at conference 6 and be like, yo, take my number. And he was like, oh, I got it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. I ain't think nothing of it.
Yeah.
I see him at conference 7 and be like, yo, take my number. But I kept saying that because I was like, yo, no way he got my number. And not like I'm trying to be like whatever, but I'm like, usually people who come around,
As pay PIP.
I'm like somebody to you.
Yeah, and they pay
So
PIP.
you should be hitting me up.
Yeah.
And so then I remember being like, oh, okay, well, let me take your number. And I saved it in my phone as J Chicago because I knew he was cop from Chicago. And then I remember one day I was sitting there and I don't know, we had just did a weekend at a conference or something. And I just called, bro, I promise you, I was at the crib. And I was like, man, that was a dope conference, da-da-da. And then something popped up in my head like, oh, Maul was there with his fam. I was like, yo, you cool? I'm like, let me hit my man. This is when I was in my old crib. I was in the basement. I never forget it. And I hit him up. And I remember him being kind of like, oh, like, did you mean to call me kind of thing?
Butt down me. I thought he butt down me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, dog, like, but there was something attractive about the fact that you must got a whole lot going on.
Yeah.
Because anybody else, you gonna stop the world and be like, oh, this, and not that I'm saying I don't want help or nothing, but it's like, it made me think like, what he got going on that I ain't that deep to my man?
Yeah.
Like something must be going on if he ain't feeling like he got it. And so then we built the relationship like that. But to your point, when you have something going on, when you have an energy about yourself, so many people come into space and they are drained. Yeah. Hey man, can I pick your brain for a minute? Nobody wants to hear that
at all. That just
nobody wants to say
it.
Just even hearing it, it makes somebody's skin crawl.
We got to get a different name for that.
Like, and I love Daryl. Daryl's my guy. Shout out to Daryl. I almost smacked little Daryl across the church the other day. Remember? And I love Daryl, and he did it the right way. He came on serve, had Yanni straight. Yeah. He did it the right way.
Yeah.
But Daryl, the other day, we potted for about 4 or 5 hours. I got off stage. Daryl was like, I need to pick your brain real quick. I was like, Daryl, I'll throw you across this church right now. and that's my little brother. I love him.
Yeah.
But it's like, bro, you got to understand something. When you work all day with your brain, and then somebody call and they want more space in your brain. Like, I don't do physical labor. And I used to tell Maul this all the time about being an entrepreneur and kind of like this world and stuff like that. Like, I was like, bro, I know you working now, but when you got to do this entrepreneurship thing and be speaking and talking to people and be on all the time, I was like, bro, it will drain you, bro.
I couldn't see it at
and
first.
Maul was
but
like,
it's
bro,
so true.
Cap, y'all just talk for a living, bro. He like, come on, you on the phone all day, bro. That ain't real
I'm
work.
like, I'm dodging bullets out
yeah,
here.
he like, I'm
chasing criminals.
He like, bro, I'm on the street. I remember, bro, it must have been a couple conferences in, and Paul was like, dog,
no, it's
dead.
tough.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm going to say the opposite. I want you to call me.
Yeah.
I do. I want you to call me. I want to talk to you. I do, with all my heart.
But I can't.
But
It's too many.
the reality is, when it's time to liquidate, you go first.
Ooh.
And I want to talk.
Ooh.
I'm the dude that want to talk.
Yeah.
I want to answer your questions. I'm the dude that feel like I'm not necessarily, and I don't say this as a low self-esteem, so I just want people to make sure they're clear. I'm not, CJ. I'm not Jamal. Like, I'm not an alpha male.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't grow up walking into a room and commanding the room. I walked in, I was always the two-man. Mm-hmm. When I ran track, I was always the second best. Like, I was never that guy. I was always that guy, homie. You feel what I'm saying? My whole life. So when I got put on, I literally got put on. Like, I literally got a pastor who was like, yo, you're not going to be able to go to college, but like, I'm the man. I'm going to give you my name, and you're going to walk through that joker like you me with no SAT score, ACT, no money. They about to just give you the red carpet. And they did. So my whole life, Didi is an alpha male, all right? So my whole life, I'm just being real.
Yeah.
So Didi was the one that, like, was the bully for me. Mm-hmm. She was the one that was like, yo, you gonna do this and you gonna do that.
Yeah.
So I was never.
And she kept boundaries.
Yeah. So I'm not that dude. So I want to help everybody.
Yeah.
I'm saying to a person that wants to help everybody, I still only got 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
I still got my wife, and I got bills to pay, and I got kids, and I got a community, and I got stuff to do. I'm a pastor. And so what happens is, when it's 5 people, I can't reach all 5. So guess who I end up naturally calling? The mutual one.
Yeah.
I end up calling the one that if I do something for them, they could do something for me, because what I discovered in symbiosis is, if it's not a
PhD,
if it's not
what's that word again?
Yeah, symbiosis. If it's not a mutual relationship, it eventually dies.
Yep.
So if you're a parasite and you are sucking off of a resource, a natural resource, as a parasite, as you suck and you drain it, once it gets to 0, it can never be replenished. Mm-hmm. So it's you gone. Yep. So that parasite sucked all the nutrients out of you, kill you, and then went to another source to suck that source up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. So I start realizing, like, yo, E, you can't let parasites suck you up, because you got responsibilities. So I start naturally realizing, yo, I got to go where it's mutual. I got to go where it's mutually beneficial. So even when my company, and I hate to say this, but, it got to a point just before COVID, around COVID, I had to let my mom go. My mom was killing it in terms of customer service. Mm-hmm. But if there's no customers, there's no need for customer service. And then my boy Chuck was writing, killing it. But it was COVID. It wasn't nothing to write about.
Yeah.
We was all trying to survive. Mm-hmm. So the 2 people that probably meant the most to me were the first 2 to go.
Wow.
Now Chuck ended up coming back because we start to prosper. And my mom, I support her, in other ways. But I lost the 2 people that in the company, that been down with me before we even blew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I'm just saying to those of you who are listening, from a person who gave you my number at the airport. I gave you my number, and I did tell you to call. Mm-hmm. And I answer when I can. But I just want you to know that when you start liquidating, the takers go first.
For sure.
Or the people who are doing something for you, but it's not moving the needle.
Yeah.
They the first ones to go. You're not moving the needle.
Yeah.
So it's like, I can't. So I was just telling my staff today, this is how much we need to make every month in order for y'all to get 100% check.
Yeah.
Now, we talked today, and I was like, y'all at 50% check with 2 weeks to go. I said,
great job.
I said, we got 2 weeks to go. You on track. You halfway there. I said, but here's a challenge. And y'all can decide how y'all want to do this. I'm not judging.
Can you tell me first of all, what happens in the business if more money goes out than comes in? I don't know how that works.
More money goes out. It's not gonna be around very long.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I just want.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying you. I'm being facetious.
No, but people don't know.
I'm trying to show like.
Well, you ain't at the top.
So if you take that back to individual accountability,
right,
you have to say, how much am I getting paid?
Yep.
Am I producing?
Correct.
At least as much. Just at a bare minimum, can I? If I'm making
Put
$5
the taxes
grand
in there. Put the taxes in there.
and healthcare,
Yeah, and healthcare. Put that in there.
paternity leave,
I'm just saying.
put it all in there. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So if my number, you should put a number.
That's it.
$7,500 on your check. If that's how much you making a month, $10,000. I don't care.
I don't care what you're
$100,000.
making.
Right.
What is your value to that, and does that come back? Because if it doesn't,
Then you go.
to your point, well, I'm saying now you're gonna be gone. Now new E, you're gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Old E,
Well, the old E, we weren't bankrupt,
no.
but I was taking my money that I earned and giving it to you.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what I was doing, but we're not doing that no more.
Right, but I'm saying, but continually, like I said, if more money is going out
Then coming in.
flowing in,
Yeah. So, but here's what I said, because people on theory. So this is mutualism. I just said, now some of y'all saying y'all on the administrative team, but I just want y'all to know if the offense ain't putting up no points and the defense
ain't nothing
just
to
stop it.
administrate. Ain't nothing to administrate.
I'm just saying.
We ain't got no administration needs.
So-
you feel me, Eric, once the episode I get Courtside. Good.
So what I said was, in terms of mutualism, even though you just play defense, you might want to start playing both ways.
Yeah.
You might want to start playing both ways, because you might want to start helping the people that's making sure you're getting a check.
Prime time. You might play for the Braves and the Falcons.
And play offense and defense.
They're both.
Yeah.
Hey, what's that picture? What's that picture that just
Ohtani.
Bruh, he's one of the best pitchers.
$700 million.
$700
They
million.
gave my man $700
$700 million, both ways.
Both ways.
Both ways.
Value.
Both ways.
Yeah.
Yeah. And most pictures can't hit both ways.
So how would a person know if they're a parasite though? Because most people don't think they're like. Do you think you're a parasite?
Because you're not.
We have a thing, and we like to call on here the self-assess tour. Every year. We've been doing this
with CJ. See, what should we talk about this year?
Let me think. Self-assess. We talked about it, Justin. Most people can't, because innately, and this is the only best way I can describe it. It's like you ever walked in the bathroom at the airport or something and somebody blew it up and you oh! Like Maul, I tell Maul dirty. Every time we going somewhere and somebody killed it, Maul be the main one like, and my man might still be in there. And Maul be like, oh! I'm talking about my man so embarrassed.
I do that sometimes too. I do that. I ain't gonna lie.
But like I said,
I'm gonna let him know,
like, dang, somebody blew it up.
But like I said, but you could be at the crib.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You sitting in there on your own.
Blowing it up.
I promise you ain't smelled nothing. Bro, you in there, bro. You in there 30. You in there
30.
for 30. I promise you it's
30
not
for
bothering
30.
you.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, listen.
No, serious.
Occasionally there's that window. You be like, man.
No, I'm saying, every once in a while you'll put your, I'm saying, but it still ain't till you leave and come back.
Yeah, for sure.
While you in there, it ain't bothering you like that. And it definitely don't bother you as much as somebody else stuff bother you.
Yeah.
Because you going on somebody else stuff, you about to throw up.
Yeah.
But your own stuff, you like, man, I got to change my diet.
Yeah.
It ain't bothering you like that. But I'm saying, so it lets me know that something innately in us does not allow ourselves to see ourselves the way we are, or perceive ourselves the way we are, or to perceive ourselves the way other people see us.
Yeah.
So then, therefore, to me, the true key to success is being able to see exactly what you are, unlock the things that are supposed to be unlocked, fixing the things that are supposed to be fixed. But how can you do that if you don't see it? If you were sitting in there like, what's wrong? Everybody else like, oh, and you sitting in there like, what's wrong?
Yeah.
That's why I think everybody.
But it ain't.
Yeah.
I think everybody should be their own boss for a minute, bro.
I just said.
Everybody should be their own boss, bro. You should have to rely on yourself.
I'm talking about just a 6-month intern on your own.
On your own. Rely on yourself.
Start your
Only
own
way
company.
you eat is you hunt.
Would you work
period. Would you work for you?
My brother, shout out to my brother too. We started an ambulance company together.
Yeah.
So at the beginning, he wasn't on like the bank accounts. He was like, oh, we got to pay for this. We got to pay for that. I said, you know what? I'm going to just give you going to have access to the bank account.
Yeah.
And if it's there, then it'll get paid. If it ain't there, then you got to figure it out. And he was like, well, I got to pay this, I got to get paid, and we got to pay this. I said, okay, so what you going to do?
What you going to do?
Because now do you want to pay yourself
We got
a little bit less?
worth of bills.
It is. So like,
$17,000
And keep the business alive.
and then you start figuring out like, okay, well, hey man, he's like, oh man, I know the problem is we doing, because one time we had like 5 trucks running, all this going out payroll. He's like, man, I'm paying everybody else. I ain't getting no money. I'm like, okay, cool. What you want to do about that?
You want to do the work? Or
Because now you start figuring out like, okay, this is actually how it works.
Yes.
If it doesn't come in,
Right.
and
The last ones to get paid.
and if I spend it all, so 6 months. I mean, it might take most people 90 days
To
They
really
start
figure
figuring
out.
like, because then you realize all them bright ideas, you ain't got time to implement an idea. You got to make some money.
Oh,
Yeah, and I got one. If nobody is calling, ask yourself how many people are you calling to ask to pick their brain?
Mm-hmm.
Now ask yourself how many people are calling you to pick your brain.
Right.
And that
Bro.
for that reason, that's why I don't answer
I gotta
my
go,
phone.
y'all.
He said for that reason I don't answer my phone.
I don't answer my phone as much as, you always get people say, man, Jay ain't answering his phone because I'm constantly having people calling me to pick my brain.
Yeah.
And this is real estate. You know what I'm saying? Like they calling on some like, man, my mama, cousin, grandma losing her house.
Exactly.
She got 2 weeks before they foreclose on it. Man, what could I do?
Yep.
It ain't no simple questions.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm always getting those questions. People are picking my brain.
Yep.
And it's like, bruh, at the end of the day, you done picked so much. I ain't got nothing left for my family.
Yep.
Yeah.
I ain't got nothing left for my boy that's pouring into me. So here it is, you, Mr. Pick Your Brain, that ain't add nothing to me. You done drained me so much now with my family, my boys, my friend, my brothers, they calling me. I ain't got nothing left, bro, for them because I done gave everything to you and you ain't even giving me nothing back.
Yeah, no, it's big, and I think I'm hoping this helps some people because again, you think about in this entrepreneurship world, finding a mentor is so key. Finding the blueprint, right? Like, how many times have you started a business and been successful? A gang of times. You know what I'm saying? We've started a gang of business and success, but I think we've gone through the ups and downs and found those keys. And so you do need a mentor. You do need somebody. But to our point earlier, and y'all gave fantastic examples of just like, yo, bruh, shout out to Marshall. He made me the poster that hang up in my office. But I said one time, in order to attract the savage, you got to become a savage.
Yeah.
So savages attracted to other savages, bro. It's like, you a beast like that? Like, yeah, I want to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, we need to hook up and like we need to meet. You know what I'm saying? Like, I introduced Trap and Toby a little while ago, and I was like, I don't really know why, but y'all need to know because like y'all got very similar energy. And I was like, and now they be they homies. They're like they on the FaceTime, they kicking it, they building together, and I'm just like, y'all just need to know each other. Like y'all on the same wavelength. So when I'm talking to you. And when we're talking about business or family or anything else, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so to me, taking it back to what we said earlier, respect the levels.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? People are like, oh, see, I come around, I just need to carry the bags. I'm like, carrying bags season ago was probably the first day I met Justin.
Bags.
Like that was when I needed something like, oh, you gonna carry the bags? Oh, this is kind of live. You know what I'm saying? I got somebody who's willing to help us out. And by carrying bags, I just mean like, I help you set up the conference, take down, take stuff to the truck, whatever. That season is over with.
Yeah.
Now, so go find somebody who's at our season 10 years ago for that level and learn something on the way. The other thing I would say, and y'all can chime in here, apply the stuff that I've already said.
I was about to say.
Bro, we come on this podcast. This is 7 straight years every single week of coming on here dropping jewels.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing going on. You ain't joined Make Real Estate Real. You ain't in Next Level Speakers. You ain't in UOU. You ain't in nothing. Like, we have tons of programs and things out here. I don't know if you think this play, we're really pouring into our students. We're really taking our students to the next level. People really buying properties. People really becoming rich off of the stuff that we talking about. People becoming wealthy, creating generational wealth off of the programs. You coming in here, you say how much you admire me and how much you admire what we doing and da-da-da-da-da. You've been listening for 3 years. You ain't in nothing.
Yeah.
You ain't in a continuity program. You ain't. I'm talking about nothing. Cool. I know you're not serious. So cool. You got to go back and respect that level. Go back to level 1. Go back to carrying somebody's bags. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
like in terms of I'm trying to show people how you endear yourself to somebody and become a part of that community. Most everybody in our community, Korshawn, how did we meet? Come on.
heard about Ink, seen what he was doing, want to be a part of it. I joined the program.
Okay, my point exactly.
Yeah.
My point exactly. 99.9% of the people that work with us that's not like just family, like came from even Maul. Coming and joining. Maul was like, man, I've been in BU for like 3 years. He was like, I never really knew exactly what it was.
You know, I joined the first speakers 7D.
Yeah, P7D.
Because that's all y'all had out, and I didn't want to be no speaker, but I was just like, that's the only program they got.
That's the only program they got.
Yeah.
But again, supporting and being around.
Yeah.
Again,
what you call it, the mastermind program. Same thing.
And I think that's an underrated key as well. So you got a whole lot of nuggets that people just, so this ain't one of them theory episodes where we just, you know what I'm saying, like talk. I wanted to make sure that they actually understand what we got going on. And so now that brings me to, you know, the official announcement on this side.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm saying? After
We got the chain?
After 10 years, the rock chain. After 10 years of you know, just friendship, you know, the whole nine. You and I don't know. Remember, why was we at Cheesecake Factory?
We was talking about branding and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like just
Oh
talking
yeah,
about the
yeah,
branding.
for sure.
And then here's what's funny. Here's how it came up. At the end of the meeting, I was like, "Is there anything I can do for you?"
Yep.
And he was like, "Well, we got the solar company. Maybe come by and do a training, or something like that for the company." I was like, "Yeah, for sure." Say, "Listen, what they need? What you think they want me to talk about?" He was like, "I mean, the guys are making pretty good money. They making like some of them making $20,000-$40,000 a month." And I was like, $20,000-$40,000 a month, doing what?
Yeah.
And he was like, selling solar.
Right.
I'm like, they made that kind of money in solar? Because I thought people that had solar was just like, they just wanted to help the environment. That's all I thought at that point. And I was like, okay, yeah, I could talk to him about that. He was like, the other thing is they just want to get to more decision makers. And I was like, man, have y'all ever thought about maybe combining worlds? That's really kind of the conversation. He was like, that ain't really our lane, man. They do the door-to-door. But I mean, he was like, we would only really consider that doing something like that if it was somebody like you that we've known for a while, and stuff like that. But I know you just had the thing going on with your mentor, like, and I was like, well, actually, you ain't really doing that no more,
right?
And he's like, well, shoot, don't tempt me with a good time. You got Josh on the phone, so it was like, but now that I'm thinking about it, like that even came up from asking, what can I do?
Yeah. And so man, it just so happened to be at a time where you were transitioning. And I hit Josh. I'm gonna be real. It was one of them things where like I hit Josh, and you know he knows Josh well, and I was like, man, I think Justin, you know, got some good ideas, and what we're already doing. The company's Harbor Solar. You know, we've been doing this 5 years now. I think around 5 years, and you know things been good. We've been rolling. And of course, you guys know Josh kind of heads that. He's the CEO over on that side of our business. And I was like, man, I called Josh as soon as I left. I was like, just talk to Justin. I'm like, man, he got some unique stuff going on. It's a transition time for him. See if you think, it'll be a good fit. And boy, oh boy, I mean, this is what, 8-9 months ago?
Yeah, about 9 months ago.
And now, man, I am excited to say that Justin is officially a partner in the business.
For sure.
And we got some super exciting, crazy things going on, man. People winning at a high level. And the thing I'm most excited about for our audience is, and I know some of you already doing extremely well. You like, that's cool. This ain't for me. For those of you out there who looking to make a passive side income, for those of you out there who looking to have a career in solar, this is, I think, one of the first times we've been able to say, hey, we have a career path here for you. You can kind of describe what we're doing. And to be honest with you, I might say, man, see, I never really heard you talk about the solar and stuff on the pod. Well, before we were just in South Carolina. And then we recently expanded into Georgia. But now that we're in 19 states, and we obviously have a national, global audience with this podcast, so it didn't make sense for me to talk about stuff that only people in Georgia or South Carolina could do. But now we're actually opened up. We've expanded into 19 states. And so if you in one of these 19 states, and even if you're not really, you could, be down with the movement. But Justin, tell them.
You gonna put the 19 states on the pod?
Oh yeah, and Justin might know.
He
can probably get them.
I know most of them. I can say it.
You know what I'm saying? If we can get it, we'll just say it. You know what I mean? Yeah. We'll actually say it and put it up on the screen. But for those of you out there, Justin, you could tell them about the opportunity. It's a really cool, unique opportunity, and we got people who are making really big money, and we got people who like, hey, I'm gonna slide in, do 2-3. Little things here, make my little 5, 6, 7 grand, and I'm out.
Like making your down payment on a property.
It really is.
Like a lot of people always hit me on how
listen,
can they
and
do it?
I know, you know, I've told you about it more, but Justin can actually describe the opportunity better. But let them know exactly what we built. We spent a lot of money,
for sure,
to get this built out correctly. A lot of time. I'm talking about 6 figures to build out this platform, you know, in a way that it could house everybody, in a way that could train everybody. But real quickly, tell them about the opportunity.
Yeah, I think you know the opportunity made sense for me for a lot of reasons. Because after we left Cheesecake, what I did is I look for gaps in the marketplace, like from a marketing standpoint.
Of course.
So I go home, I start looking on Google, like, okay, what's the forecast of the solar industry? And I'm like, man, it's got a pretty good forecast. Start looking up videos. I was like, man, it's not a lot of people talking. So I go on Instagram and I'm like, okay, who do I know that follow me or I follow them and they do solar? I couldn't find nobody. And I think about like social media. I can literally think about somebody for every industry just about. Like if I think about real estate, I can think about it. Speaking, I can think about it. Business credit, regular credit, insurance. And I was like, solar, like who does solar? I couldn't think about anybody. I was like, oh, it's a gap in the marketplace because now you can come to the marketplace in a space that's already doing well and position yourself as the person that people think about when they think about that particular product. So that was the first thing. The other thing I look at is the product and service have to make sense. And I ask myself is, okay, how many homeowners do I know that have an electricity bill? All of them.
All of them.
Right? There's 86 million people that qualify for solar right now. The other thing I asked was, when do you ever stop paying for your electricity bill? Never. So now I'm not even selling you nothing for real because you already pay for it.
Period.
And not only did you pay for it your whole life, your parents paid it for their whole life, grandparents paid for it their whole life, great-grandparents. Now, mine...
Electricity ain't never been free as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, my generation don't go back too much past further that, you know what I'm saying, where they had to pay for it. But like, I'm like, man, it's a great opportunity for people to be a part of because now we can talk about something different that nobody else is really talking about. But then when you told me and Josh told me the income potential, I was like, wait a minute, you telling me I can sit down with a customer and the average commission $3,500 to $7,000 per deal? The homeowner pays $0 out of pocket. Their home value goes up. They get a 30% tax credit from the government. I literally sat for a couple of days. I'm like, okay, what is the catch? That's what I was saying.
You kept hitting me too.
I kept asking you. I was like, bro,
got
what is the thing? There has to be something there because that's how my mind works. He's like, nah, bro, like literally, if they qualify for it, it's a great deal. And I would say like right now, I think the only catch is that it's just not everywhere. We're in 19 markets and not everybody qualifies for solar, right? But if it makes sense for a homeowner, it's like a no-brainer.
Make that clear. Not everybody qualifies because certain
like utility. Sometimes, I mean, because it's solar. You got to have sunlight. So if your house is in the woods and you have no sunlight around you, it's not going to qualify. And then our programs, there's 0 down for you to get solar. And so you do like you have to at least have a 650 credit score. And so like, you know, there are some things that go in place. And I tell people it makes sense. Like, you know, you're literally putting something on somebody's house that's tens of thousands of dollars. Right. We're not asking you for no money. You know what I mean? Like some people can't even get a car for no money down.
Come on, hip hop preacher. Oh, Johnny. Oh, it's Johnny. Come on, Johnny. Yeah.
So I'm like, you know, the business side of it made a ton of sense once I understood what the product was. And then when I saw the outlook of it, I was like, oh, this ain't going nowhere no time soon. So now we get a chance to really show people, like our motto is showing people how to grow their own solar brokerage. So just like you can grow a real estate brokerage or an insurance agency, you can do the same thing with solar. And then what we do from a company standpoint is we just simplified it. I think a lot of people in this space overcomplicated it. We have solar pros that do the closing. So like, for instance, we had one of our young ladies, she got started recently. Her first day, she got a bill from her parents. Her parents are actually looking to go solar. We had one of our solar pros do the presentation that same day for them. Her parents decided to go solar. Her split on the deal because when you're new, you split the deal 50-50 with the solar pro. Well, she made $3,000 on that deal. She know nothing about solar. So now you can have a person come to the table and say, okay, I really don't know that much, but I can really earn what I learned. And then when you know what you're doing, then you're off to the races. And so it's really designed for, you know, people that have stuff going on. That want to be able to leverage their relationships, but also learn a new skill without having to say, okay, I gotta learn for another year and a half before I can start making some money.
And the thing I love about it too is there's no real commitment like that other than you could just say, hey, I know 3 people, my aunt, my cousin, and my sister-in-law who all thinking about going solar. And by the way, like you heard Justin say, for solar, you're essentially either going to save money or make it even swap with a tax credit.
Yeah,
it makes your home more valuable. Home sells faster.
Yeah, 20% faster with solar.
And there's no money down.
Yeah.
So literally, it's an easy sell to somebody who has who's a candidate for it, right?
Yeah.
They got enough sunlight. They got those things, which, by the way, that's why you pull the power bill and stuff like that. So somebody can sign up on the platform. I just want, because again, I'm very slow in terms of my learning. I want somebody out there who hears it. So they could sign up.
Yep.
How much is it to sign up?
So we got 2 packages. One of them is free. You can become an ambassador for free. And what happens is when you send over a bill, one of our solar pros close it, you make $1,000.
Okay.
Or if somebody wants to become a consultant, it's $99.
And I don't have to sign up and do anything there. I could just send the bill.
You just send the bill in and we handle it from there. Yeah.
Okay.
The other one is like, hey, I want to make this thing a career. I want to like learn how to build this, start growing it. I want to be able to leverage the solar pros, the company installers, and all of the states that we're growing into. That's $99 one time. And then it's $49.97 a month. We've got an app that
so $100.
Yep.
Then $49 a month.
Yep. And just it's just $100.
And you essentially get your own business right there.
Correct. Yep. And
bro, all the information that you need.
Yep.
You get connected to the Solar Pros. So again, I think you have to do, you say 3 deals.
Yep.
You do 3 deals before you can actually close the deal and get the entire commission.
Correct. Yep.
But we want you to learn.
Yep.
We want you to learn those first 3, so you'll get half the commission on those first 3. But it's actually essentially something where for $100 sign-up fee, and then the $50 is for the continuing education, and we have calls and there's community and things like that too, right?
Correct. Yep.
And so you're able to get support put around you. But essentially, like I said, whether you want to be, some of our top guys who are making $30,000, $40,000 a month, or whether you want to say, I really just know 3 people that want to do solar.
Yeah.
I'm about to just sign up and do this. Get my, let's say $1,700, maybe $2,000 a deal.
Yep.
Get my half, $2,000, get my $6,000, and I'm out. And you never have to sell solar again. There's no commitment. Yep. You don't got to keep paying it. We don't say it's not no like 5-year commitment, 2-year commitment. It's just month to month.
Yeah, it's month to month. Yep.
Month to month. And so, man, I think like for real, for opportunities, Justin, that we've been able to bring to our audience. Obviously, make real estate real, the speakers, everything else. This is a very unique opportunity that we have for individuals who, like I said, want to make passive income, who want to be, very low barrier entry, to get started and things like that. And the thing I love about it, y'all, is we're on the front end of this thing. Solar. Think about 20 years ago when people were like, hey, it's an electric car. You was like, wait, what? And now Candace got a Tesla. You know what I mean? Like everybody's got an electric car. You see the space. It's more and more spaces at the grocery store for electric cars.
Right.
And so this is the way the world is going.
Yep.
And so I think it's dope that, Josh was innovative enough 5 years ago to say, hey, we need to be in this solar game. And then now you've been able to come in and kind of provide that community standpoint for it instead of just going and just doing just door to door alone, which, obviously is super valuable. But now just being able to say, hey, what about the people who just want to do 2 deals, who want to do 10 deals, who want to make it a career, who don't want to make a career, who just want to, like I said, sell their neighbor and their friends and, their own house, whatever it is, and be able to make a nice check. I think this is a dope opportunity for that. And what are you seeing in terms of now that we kind of had a mini launch party at my house, a couple of months ago, and I know, the young ladies and fellas who are doing well. How are the people doing in the program so far? It's so new.
Yeah.
How's it going so far?
Not really good. We had a few people last month. They made $10,000 their first month, at least $10,000.
Wow.
Quite a few people. Like my guy, Coach Henry. He's in California because he's been in sales for a while. His first deal was a split deal. It was like $4,000. That was his half. Mm-hmm. He called me. He was like, "Bro, this got to be the easiest thing I've ever done." Because I always tell people solar's not a sales pitch. It's an IQ test. It's literally like, hey, look. These are the benefits you get with your electricity company, which are nothing. The cost is going to continue to go up. That's the only.
And we didn't even talk about that fact that whether you find because you're not paying out of pocket, you're financing. People are like, well, I don't want to take on a finance. It's like, wait, so were you going to pay your electric bill? I was going to pay my electric bill anyway. Well, this is going to be a little bit cheaper than your electric bill. You was going to pay that for the rest of your life. Now you can pay this essentially if you sign up for a 10 or 25 year program. And at some point, That's why the house value goes up, right? Because at some point, it'll be paid off.
Yeah, and then now you don't even
think
have to
about it.
pay
My
for that
parents was in
part.
their house 40 years. You would only had 25 years of an electric bill, and I think you still got to stay connected to the grid.
Yeah, which
so
is
it
like
might be like
$5 to $15 a month.
$5 to $15 a month. But then literally, imagine if you went to somebody and say, I'm going to sell you this house right now. Oh, by the way, the solar is paid off on it, so
Yeah, y'all do know I'm over here thinking about solar for my.
Oh, for sure. Oh, that's what I'm saying.
Bro,
for sure.
my electricity bill about $1,500.
Oh yeah.
My point exactly.
Yeah,
and so
yeah,
again,
sure.
so you're right. It is you're not asking somebody to buy like a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or like a sweet new vacuum, like something that's like, I really don't. You're essentially asking people to convert and to a cleaner source of energy, right? It's better for the environment. We need to say that as well. Obviously, it's a green, energy, so it's better for the environment. You have the same or less bill, right?
Yep.
And you get a tax credit.
Yep. Get a tax credit. You don't have to worry about your electricity going up because you don't have fixed costs.
It's a fixed cost. You just said, we just talked about it. Somebody you knew, bill doubled.
Yeah, just in the last year. It's a lot of people that's doubled since COVID, but just in the last year, one of my guys called me from Dallas, and he was like, "Bro, first people talked to me about solar, and I said no, and my bill just went up from $200 to $400 a month." He said, "Oh."
And if he would have done solar at that time, it would got it for $200.
Like that,
you would have just stayed at that exact same fixed cost. So you don't even have to worry about the fluctuation of price. So it's a dope sale, man. It's a dope company. We've been doing this, like I said, 5 years. I haven't brought it to the podcast or to our listening audience yet, just because, like I said, we weren't in as many states. And I was like, man, I didn't want
states too.
Yeah, I was like, man, I ain't want to blow it out for everybody.
Yeah,
Illinois,
you know what I'm saying?
So we got, of course, Illinois.
Let's go.
We got Arizona, California, Colorado, Connecticut, Florida, Georgia, Maryland, Ohio, Massachusetts, Michigan, Nevada, North Carolina, South Carolina, Pennsylvania, Jersey, Rhode Island, Texas, and Virginia. And then we got a couple more that are coming next year. So.
Shout out to the OG Josh working on that.
Shout out Josh. He's working. He got a meeting tomorrow to get us some more. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, hey,
for
look,
sure.
we gotta make
so
that
it's growing, man. It's a lot of fun. It's a community. We got an event coming up in February that's going to be super dope
18th.
in Atlanta.
Yep, in Atlanta.
It's going to be a nice, big event. I'm sure the hip hop preacher will be there.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm flying. I think I'm out of town, but I'm flying back in for that to make sure I'm there.
February 17th, 18th, man.
You know what I'm saying?
You got anything? Well, you got to check your calendar.
Whole family pulling up.
When are we speaking?
No, that's early February.
That's early- no,
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. So no, it's gonna be dope, man. But let them know where to go and how they can sign up. And
the website's harborsolar.com, but we'll actually put a link in maybe the show notes. I'll give you guys a link that we can put there.
We got a lot of audio listeners, so harborsolar.com,
and then
HARBOR.
And then I think we set up
solar.com
for the show just so we could track.
We need to be able to track where y'all coming from.
Yeah, I think it's one thing. I think it's S2S. That's the
just S2S.
Yeah, so harborsolar.com/S2S.
Yeah, /S2S, man. Let us know where you coming from. We can keep track of this thing. But again, 19 states. If you're somebody who don't live in one of them states, because I know we're gonna get a million emails like that. Is there any option for them?
I think if you in 2023, 2024, you don't have to be living in a place to make money from that place. So I think you just have to have the ability to say, okay, even if I'm in Tennessee, but it's not here yet, well, you probably know people in other places, and other people know people in other places.
For sure.
That's the benefit of growing your brokerage.
Yeah.
But guess what? Eventually, Tennessee's very close. Alabama's very close. And so when those markets come, now you're already trained. Now you already know what's happening. Now you're educated on how the process works. Now you just, you're able to do incredible numbers in your own market. And that's why we're getting people. I say on the front end, but the proof of concept has already been proven. Like the tough days of solar have already kind of been passed. Of like people having to pay $10,000, $15,000.
Oh, bro.
Just the down payment.
Bro. I mean, even going through the legislation.
Yeah, all of that.
Because let me tell you something. The who's who of the world did not want solar to come in. No. You got to think of the billionaire trillionaires that own the power companies. They wasn't excited about it. So I can remember, a lot of days where Josh was at the state capitol in, South Carolina and everywhere else. And, we had to go down there and speak in front of the, lawmakers and stuff and just, advocate for this stuff. And they don't want you to know that this is a good business for you. And I think the way we're doing it, I love it. And it was dope that we talked about entrepreneurship. You got your own system to win. You can build out your own team. You can, really make this thing, like I said, a career, a 6-figure career if that's what you choose, or you can make it a nice side income for yourself that doesn't.
Or
that's not gonna
7-figure
take
career.
7-figure. Come on, throw it out there.
Or just
throw
have
it out there.
passive income to use for your rental property.
Yeah, you feel what I'm saying? It all comes full circle.
I get that question a lot. People say, where can I get the money from to put on my property?
Find 3 people that want to do solar.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
Find
it.
3-4 people that say, yep, I want to do solar, and take them, introduce them to the squad, man. And like I said, it's one of those things that, trust me, don't be kicking yourself, 5 years from now when you say, man, I could have, I heard them say that. So anyway, harborsolar.com/S2S.
Yeah, and if it asks you for like a code or something like that, just put S2S and then it'll be tracked here.
Yep, Justin, let them know where they can find and follow you at, man.
Yeah. Instagram, New Age CEO, NEWAGE CEO, and Justin Owens. Pretty much any other place like Facebook and YouTube as well.
Man, y'all give it up, man. My little brother, man. Fantastic job today, man. Appreciate you being on, man. We out of here. We love y'all. We'll see you next week.
Let's go.
I want you to focus on here right now. Don't you worry about when you get home. You concentrate on this opportunity. You don't worry about tomorrow. You concentrate on this opportunity with all your might, with all your soul, with all your heart.
Thank you so much for rocking with us as always, right? We don't take it lightly, guys. And we hope that we've provided transformation and not just information. We want you to become the best version of yourself, right? Make sure you check out the show notes to access all the important links and get your product discounts. Now, one favor we're asking of you, do us this favor. Make sure you subscribe and leave us a review on Apple Podcasts. We want to know your feedback and how we can serve you better. And if there's anyone that you think could benefit from listening to this show, please, I'm begging you, please share it with them. And remember, as E always says, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.